okay, it's good to be an artist, but if you didn't get paid for it, there's no point. It was like the momentum when I was thinking, okay, let's switch. Now we are building a studio.
Collaborate with influencers and doing CGI. That's the most effective synergy.
Don't hesitate to invest a lot on good people.
We have been working with so many like big clients like Amazon, Netflix, and UFC posted us. So I don't feel like super excited anymore when the huge client comes in.
It's reached, I think, like 1 million view on Nespresso Instagram. So that's pretty good, yeah, for our companies.
The craziest thing I discovered is that, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So your name is Romain Guillon, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us today. Yeah, we're going to have a quick podcast about our work, what we're doing, just presenting yourself as a brand, as a company, and as an individual creator. I've seen many of your works. They're like super cool. I know you use Houdini. We had a quick chat about it before that. Yeah, can you please just tell everything that is about your company?
Yeah, sure. So, yeah, I'm Romain Guillon, 3D motion designer, art director, but also owner of a GN Motion company. So, yeah, this company have been created like not a long time ago, actually. We are specialized in full 3D animation, but also in mixed reality videos. So, yeah, we are a growing company that's working with diverse clients around the world. And thank you for having me on this podcast.
That's cool. How long have you been working as a 3D artist?
It's been quite a while, around 8-10 years, around there. Yeah, I started with Cinema 4D at the graphic design school, and I discovered 3D pretty early when I was like learning graphic design. So yeah, around 10 years right now.
Can you remember the time when you decided to go into 3D and you decided that this is what you want to do?
Yeah, definitely. Like there's like one huge video that I saw from Nike for the product Hyper Venom. It's like a shoe. It's like a football shoe. And Man vs. Machine did this video, and yeah, that's changed all of my plans. At first, I just wanted to be maybe graphic designer working on some poster or graphic identity for brands. And when I saw this animation, I was like, okay, this is exactly what I want to do. You can control all of the parameters from the visual you're creating, and being able to turn around, having this visual moving was really a game changer. I wanted to jump in the industry directly after seeing it. So it was a big moment for me.
Yeah, you just mentioned Man vs. Machine. Like, I'm a big fan of Simon Holmesdale work. Yeah. Are there any other companies or individual creators who inspire you?
Oh yeah, there is a lot of them, and like many new artists actually coming into my list over the years and weeks. So it's gonna be hard to mention just one or two, but people that inspire me are like Man vs. Machine, like studios like such as like Future Deluxe or Zinc Studio as well, that I discovered not long time ago, and also like Disembargo, with two amazing artists that I had the chance to work with, which is like Sam and Fries and Sebastian Helen. So just, yeah, wanted to do a big up to them. They are amazing. And yeah, like Twisted Polly, Simon Olmedal, and many artists that I cannot say all of them here, but many people inspire me every day.
And I also know they also work in Houdini. Was it
That's true.
Primary decision of yours?
To work with Houdini?
Yeah.
Not really. I mean, it came up pretty naturally. At first, I was in cinema and I could do most of the animation I wanted to create. Houdini came naturally because I wanted to be different, to create like more complex animations. I really like when our visual animations are more organic, more natural look, and something that's mimic at the like with the complexity and more like I'd say more organic visuals. So Houdini was really the best tool for me because I could control every parameters. With Cinema 4D, you are a bit limited. Like when you create a simulation, you have to cache it. It's pretty hard to build on top. And Houdini is the perfect tool for me. The way I'm thinking also, like which is more like by steps. And I love Houdini, but the fact that if you want to change a little parameter, because it's like a procedural tool, this is like way easier for me and to iterate, to create assets, and I feel it's like way more powerful, and that's that's why I move it naturally. Like at first steps, it was because I wanted to create organic visuals.
I have some experience in Houdini. When I first discovered it, I was in shock that you can just relink the asset and everything changes accordingly.
Yeah, this is actually like right now because I'm developing as well some tools, and because my goal to grow this company is also by using fully Houdini, creating templates to speed up the process, the workflow, having scenes already set up, just have to change the main object. So it's like, yeah, developing some tools like that with Houdini is like really powerful, and I encourage people to try it at least one time to see how powerful it is. It's going to be maybe overwhelming at the first sight, but once you understand it, it's getting really fun and powerful.
Yeah, it looks crazy. It's just too many buttons, but you don't actually use all of them.
No, exactly. Yeah, this is what I'm recommending as well to some students I have with my Patreon or courses, is that just focus on one thing that you cannot do with your other software such as C4D or Blender. Just focus on the strength of Houdini, which is like maybe particle simulations, fluid simulations, or Vellum, which is like really powerful. So just to focus on that, create your visual, use the tool only when you need it, and slowly you're going to transition to that software. But don't try to learn everything at first, otherwise you will be like, okay, I give up 2-3 times before really committing to Houdini. So it's a journey, and just use it for what you need on the project.
Doing 3D, it took me like a while to figure out what I like doing the best. For me, it was compositing. When I figured out that I feel it's so satisfying when you can finally match the 3D object into the environment, I was like, okay, I'm going to do that for the rest of my life. That's what I'm really into. What is the best thing for you to do in 3D? What do you like the most?
It depends. Actually, there's like a different approach. It could be like a technical part and from Houdini, or it could be like more like the process of generating ideas, because 3D is not only like knowing the tool perfectly, but it's also like analyzing the ideas you've got, thinking about the process, how you're going to achieve that animation. So it's like there is different phases, and for that process, which is like generating ideas, I really enjoy like having like a concept in mind, thinking about the process further with Houdini. So it's like the creative part about the generating concepts. I love this part in 3D, but also what I enjoy in 3D with the Houdini software is mainly, I would say, like Vellum, combining it with maybe some grain and fiber and stuff like that. I really enjoy, for example, on my Instagram page, we can see a project I've done, a personal project with this product inside of a weird sculpture that's being tearing off, and the product is like coming out of it. And I really enjoyed this kind of approach with Houdini, which is like, okay, you can have an initial setup, tweak some buttons, and the result could be like totally different. And I really enjoy that aspect of Houdini, and I enjoy working for that project, for example, with Vellum. Yeah, so it depends. I like playing with different tools. And right now there is an interesting solver that just came up with the new Houdini 20.5. So yeah, you never bored with Houdini. It's like you can always discover new tools.
Yeah, the new versions are coming all the time. Like for me, when we started the company, it's obviously that I can't spend so much time in 3D anymore. I have to manage people, and yeah, it's just too difficult to do two things at the same time. Yeah. How do you keep up with the new updates, with the new tutorials, whatever?
But that's a good question, man. I mean, it's always complicated in the sense that we just have 24 hours in a day, and we've got a studio right now, so our time management shifted slightly to managing team and communicating around our studio. So mainly what I'm doing is like I'm subscribing to different Patreon. So there is like different maybe expert like who are like specialized in one aspect of Houdini. I'm every month I'm checking like what's next, what the new tools have been updated, maybe on the Houdini YouTube channel, or those artists like doing Patreon or online courses. I always try to subscribe to all of these different field related to Houdini to try to keep in touch. But I'm not necessarily every day practicing because we don't have time for that. But it's like mainly like maybe consuming when I have some free time, new tools. So when there is a project that need to maybe like having this kind of a free simulation, I know where to pick the information because I've got this knowledge, the database and informations that I collected over time through courses, but also on my Instagram, which is like full of 3D animation in Houdini or C4D. So yeah, I'm collecting over time resources, but I'm not practicing every day. I'm doing it for maybe my Patreon on the daily project, but because now we're managing a studio, this time is split it in two parts. So yeah, it's been a bit different from when I was fully freelance or that time. Yeah.
And you just mentioned Patreon. The good thing about Houdini that I discovered recently is that you can just subscribe to somebody's Patreon and then use their mockups or their presets, whatever, for your own projects.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
also dope.
This is so powerful. And yeah, this is what I love as well about that software, which is Houdini, is that it's procedural, guys. So like just go online, find many resources. When you've collected enough resources, you can solve kind of any problems the clients could ask you. So yeah, switching to Houdini was my best choice and best decision.
Yeah, all the Houdini artists say that.
Yeah, 90%.
But it's such a struggle to get switched to that.
Yeah, exactly. And it depends as well on the kind of project you are working on, because I mean, for mixed reality videos, that could be slightly different. You could import, of course, like some setups you've done in Houdini into other software such as Blender or C4D. But for mixed reality videos, I'm still working with C4D because it's mainly is simpler. But of course, if you want more complex animations, I will work inside Houdini the full process. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you do simulations by yourself or you hire someone?
No, I'm doing it by myself. Because I created so many setups over the years that I'm using my own setups. When we're talking about 3D simulation, maybe I will let that to a more advanced artist, which had time to experiment with all of the parameters and develop tools that could speed up the workflow. So when for 3D sim, I'm mostly hiring people, but for the rest of the process, and depend as well for the 3D sim, because it could be, if it's like a small scale 3D sim, that could be all right. But for largest one, I could maybe need some guidance depending on the project.
Yeah, makes sense. But like, I've seen your projects. The one with Nescafe I like the most.
Oh yeah,
the water
Nespresso.
simi was crazy.
Yeah, Nespresso project, right?
Yeah, the Nespresso one. Yeah, correct. How did you do that? How did you perform it?
Yeah, that was a really interesting project. Actually, on this one, we collaborate with an artist. So for this one, like the process was pretty simple. The idea was to have these two giant bottles coming out of the sea. So the way we work on it is that we first locked the animation of the bottles, the animation of the camera to have this great angle. And once everything been validated, is the time where we had this Houdini artist that work on the large 3D simulation. So everything had to be locked up. It was because, like always, the deadline is really short, so we could not afford to modify the size or the rhythm of the product coming out of the water. So we lock that up first with the client, and after we do the free simulation, which is like a large free tank, and we've got some area where is more specific to the path where the bottle is. We've got like way more detail, way more particles, and that way we could like save like calculation time by only simulating on the little path that the product is going through. So we've got like let's say 2 layers of 3D sim, the largest one and the smaller one, where we got these nice particles coming out of the water. So yeah, it's been like a really great project. We're super happy with the results, and the client is happy too. So that was a good one. And yeah, we are super happy with the result as well. Like it's reached, I think, like 1 million view on Nespresso Instagram. So that's pretty good, yeah, for our company. So super happy with the result, and yeah.
Yeah, I was impressed because we also have some experience working with water simulations, and it's like, it's crazy. It's unpredictable. You can't control it. It's so difficult to tweak it all the time. The calculation time is just insane. Yeah. So
Yeah, there's something, maybe a tool that I could recommend to designers as well, because there is this new tool that we use for an upcoming project for Christmas for Raban, which is like LiquiGen. So this tool is own, I think, is the same people that created Ambergen, but for fruit simulation, which is like LiquiGen is really powerful, and they updated recently as well their tool. And you guys could check it out because it's like really powerful, much faster than Houdini, and for larger fruit simulation. I think right now we're gonna move to that tool because it's like a game changer, and also you can iterate way faster and get the perfect simulation. And you were mentioning about tweaking some parameters; it could be like time consuming, but this tool is perfect because it's like instant, you know. So
yeah, I know about Ambergen. I have tried it before, and it's super useful, super powerful. It's so easy to use. It's just like intuitive. You don't have to tweak a lot. You just can see all of the parameters. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I just didn't know that it's already out yet.
Yeah. LiquiGen is really powerful.
You have used it already?
Yeah, exactly. With this Raban project, it's not released yet, but you guys gonna see it maybe end of the year. Yeah.
What other software do you use in your pipeline?
Mainly Houdini, Redshift, LiquiGen, Ambergen, not much because in Houdini, like the Paro solver is pretty good. We've got also like some plugins. So no, mostly those tools in terms of 3D. Of course, we're using a little bit of AI, ChatGPT, or to generate visuals, MidJourney. We're not using Runaway much yet to animate our picture, but I see some really good updates recently. So that must come really soon. But right now, yeah, we're sticking to the main software, which is Houdini. It's an amazing tool. So let's just
do everything in there. To Houdini.
Yeah, exactly.
Forget other softwares. What do you think about AI? What kind of tools do you use?
I'm not using many tools right now. I experimented with a few. I could recommend like a MidJourney, which is like a really nice tool to generate visuals pretty quickly. And also like when we work with clients is always a great tool to quickly generate a visual where the clients could understand the concepts and the art direction we're going for. We're using also ChatGPT, of course, that everybody's using. Otherwise, not many tools yet.
Have you tried Luma?
Luma AI, I think I used it one time, but I didn't push. No, I saw some really great updates recently, and I haven't tried it yet. How is it?
Like the craziest thing I discovered is that it can make you a 3D scene out of just a video. You can just upload a video from a drone, for example, and then it makes the entire city for you. And it's like super high quality. You can animate a camera inside, and yeah, you can just match it then with the other footage.
I see, but you cannot really export the data into another software, right? It's like inside of their tool.
It is inside, yeah. You can animate the camera inside, and it gives you like a really good quality. I'm not sure if they're going to implement that in the latest versions, but for now, I think it's pretty usable.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting because also you could potentially track the footage you're kind of generating a new footage, and you have just to track it because you cannot export the camera right now. But that could be really a game changer, especially for you guys. With the mixed variety videos, you don't have to get the perfect shot. Or there is this guy who come across the scene. You need a roto guy to remove it, or the weather was not great at that time. So it could be like really a game changer and for mixed reality videos. So that's
Yeah, I think in the nearest future, you can totally recreate the whole scene in Unreal just using this.
Yeah, Unreal as well. It's such an amazing tool. I would love to have time to explore this one, but
no, I don't think you have so much time.
I don't have much time.
It's just crazy. Yeah. What other software do you use on a daily basis?
On a daily basis?
What is your primarily compositing one? Is that Nuke?
It's After Effects for me. Yeah. I haven't explored Nuke much. After Effects, 4D mainly, and Houdini, a part of Houdini, which is the main software, but for compositing is mainly After Effects. Yeah.
What was the craziest project you have ever done?
Craziest in terms of what? In
like
terms
the
of
hardest one.
The hardest one.
Yeah.
I think it's not. I mean, there's a few which have been complicated in terms of deadline, in terms of technical part, but maybe like not long time ago where I had like to manage many projects at the same time, and the team was not kind of ready yet, so I had to manage 3 of them, and it was super hard because I had like a few freelancers working with me, but I still had to do some part of the project. It's been like really challenging, so I don't have specific project in mind. It's just about this transition that bring me to being a freelancer to studio owner. And that moment, which when I had like these 3 projects at the same time, was like the momentum when I was thinking, okay, let's switch now. We are building a studio. I'm hiring some designers to collab with me, and let's be sure that the quality of every project we're doing is top notch. Like is really on the level I want to. So it's more about like time management. In terms of technical complexity, I never really faced any. It's a bit arrogant to say that because there's always like little problems in projects, but I would say it's more about last minute feedbacks that changing the whole direction of the project that have been quite challenging. And to overcome it is like it's coming up with maybe more creative solutions and finding a way to cheat because it's just like a 2D image, so you just can try some compositing stuff or playing with materials, lighting, and that could solve the problem. So it's mainly this conversation with the clients that could bring this issue, but there's always a creative way to solve it. Yeah.
So many ways of how you can fake something, and then in the end, there's the whole project is made of different patches, and the client doesn't understand that it's not a consistent thing. It's gonna break if you give just one more comment. Nothing is going to work.
Yeah, and the client don't. I mean, it's normal. It's not their field, but they don't realize sometimes how complex a scene could be, and these simple changes, which is like, can we just change the way this character is moving? But if you build it in a certain way, or you buy 3D assets from another software and you baked it to use it on your software, you cannot really change it much. So you are not that flexible, and sometimes the clients don't understand that, but it's totally normal. It's us who have to find like, okay, what does it mean? Why you want to change this movement? Because like the way it's working, but if we maybe have a camera or this element coming in front of him, like maybe it could make the job. So it's always trying to find little solutions.
Yeah, our most concern is that always when the client comes with the feedback and they say, okay, we need to change this because we don't like the movement. For example, we don't like the movement of the car. And we already did like 100 tests of that. And we definitely know that it's not going to work. It's not going to look good. But they're still insisting on, no, we want to see it. And then we have to, okay, let's do it once again. Start from scratch, reanimating it. And then we show it. And they're like, oh, yeah, you were right.
Yeah, it's often this one. Because same for the Romain project. Like at first, we came up with a storyboard. There's many iterations, and at the end we came back to the first one just by showing that it doesn't work. So yeah, sometimes they have to see it to realize that it's not going to work. But yeah, it's a process, and it's our job as well to educate them and to them to trust us as well.
We had a quick chat before the podcast about how do you hire designers? How many designers do you have on the team? Can you just tell a little bit about how the company workflow is and how do you get them on the team? How do you test them? Do you have like a test project for each of them or no?
Not necessarily. I mean, right now I'm really like focusing on their portfolio. Right now we have like a one full-time designer and one marketing person. So we are working a lot with freelancer right now. And the way I'm choosing the freelancers are mainly through Instagram portfolio or their websites. So I can, because I understand how the software work, and I can judge someone capabilities in terms of art direction or in terms of technical capabilities. So I can see it and know quickly if someone is good or not. I'm using mainly like Instagram to reach out to them. We don't have any test projects Because I know the software really well. So that's a great point, because once I onboard them, I can guide them on a direction. I can tell them also like which which tool you could use, or which tutorial you could follow to go to the end goal. So because I really know the industry, I know exactly what we should do, and that's allowed me sometimes to have maybe people that I was expecting to be good, but they are not that good. But because I can drive them and guide them, at the end result is okay. So let's say the good aspect of knowing how to craft your animations, especially with Houdini. And once I'm convinced, once I collab with them for maybe 1, 2 times, 3 times, and I see that they're good, we could consider like maybe a longer position in the studio. So that could be like the process for now. But once we will get bigger with more people in the team, I will implement more like a test that could tell me directly from day one if they are good, not only technically but also in terms of my communications, and how to team up with the rest of the group. So yeah, it's in the process, and this is what we're going to do in the future.
Yeah, I think it's a great thing that you are an artist yourself and you know exactly how it should look like, what everyone have to be doing. You can just control everything by yourself, but that leads to another problem, that you're going to end up in a situation where you are like the main guy, and if you get sick or or you have any problems, nobody's going to replace you because no one knows what to do really.
Yeah, exactly. That's why they need to have like a certain level. They're not like a beginner, they're not junior. They know how the software work, and they have some capabilities, because I don't hire like people that's just new to the job. So I can guide them by mentioning some, like I said, like tutorials, or maybe giving them some old scenes that I've created before, so they can reuse it for the setup. But I'm careful with that, and like you said, sometimes if I'm sick, we are fucked. But I try as much as possible to avoid these kind of situations.
Yeah, but we have experienced that. I don't want to get into that situation anymore. So we're trying to hire like a super professional people who can, like the managers who can manage other designers, and yeah, that's just a super important thing. So you said that you have a few full-time workers on the team and then several freelancers on the side.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What is the plan for your future growth? Where do you see your company in like 5 to 10 years?
In 5 to 10 years, I see my company like getting way bigger, and not only touching about 3D animation, but maybe expanding the field. Because what I love about 3D is like you don't have to stuck in one field, which is like 3D animation, but you can like develop like how to say, like with 3D you can do animation, you can do your own merch, like own product, physical product. With 3D you can also like do installations. You can also like with the new Meta glasses that developing, or like the Apple Provision, like there is also this aspect of 3D which is more in terms of augmented reality. So there is so many aspects, and I don't want to just be restricted to 3D animation. I would love to explore many areas and really build the GN Motion company as a pluridisciplinary like studio. So my goal is to really like expand the 3D world and being able to touch on many aspects of the field. So this is my goal. Also like developing the personal branding aspect of it. I mean, in terms of GN Romain, my person, I would like to also have that on the side. So it's really like everything will turn around 3D, what I've built over the years and my skills. So there is like, because I don't want to get bored in my life, and sometimes if you don't like to do 3D animations, it's good to jump on maybe something not that different, but still related to your field, and that way you can it's feeding each other, because if you do some mixed reality project, it's still going to be useful for the company. If you're doing like a 3D merch object, you can still do some 3D animation about it. It have to be connected and feed each other. So I want to be able to have this flexibility to choose like on which project I'm working on, and by touching like other aspects of 3D, this is where I want to bring the company to like being like a really great studio that could do like many different aspects of what a brand could need in terms of marketing, communications, but also production. So this is
That's also what I've been thinking about, that 3D has so many ways of creating cool stuff. And there's always some different trends that are coming in. For example, like a couple of years ago, NFTs was a huge thing. I don't know, did you get any money on there?
I get some money, but not by creating NFTs, but building the brand of an NFT project, like a crypto project. But also I was called for, I think like you also, like to build an NFT collections. I started, but I didn't do the whole project. And I was a bit careful with that. And I think as well, I was a little bit late. If you are early on the NFT trend, that could run very well for you, but I was not that early. So I just collab on a few projects, but didn't really launch my own collection.
Yeah, that was such a fun thing for me that I've created. Just have you seen Rick and Morty?
Yeah.
You know the Plumbus?
I
made the Plumbus in 3D and just posted it on I don't know, was it OpenSea or something? And then some guy just bought it for $500, and I was like, "What the hell?"
That's so cool.
That's so cool.
Oh yeah, but that's mentioning, because that's remind me of a project we did with a group of artists, which is called Miss Sudoku. I don't know if you heard about it. It's like a bunch of artists. I think it's like 90 artists in total. We did like a different collection, which is like each artist had to create one visual with a specific color, and when you put all of the visuals close to each other, is creating this kind of a gradient, which is like which is like a one collection, but also each individual artist have their own visual that we put on OpenSea, if I remember correctly. So it was like a really interesting project also, and that was the only piece as an artist that I put on those platforms. But it was a really fun time, and it's really interesting to see how everything is evolving and which direction. There's always new things in 3D, and
now like mixed reality and these fake out of home advertisings are definitely a huge trend. What do you think about it? Do you enjoy doing them?
Yeah, I really enjoy. What I love is like really having an idea and bringing it to the real world. And I'm happy that this kind of trends come up, because when I was younger, this is what the thing I always projected in myself when I went to different places. Imagine there is this giant stuff appearing. Or I was really big in when really back on the time, like when I play a lot of Pokemon, imagining Pokemon there or giant statues and stuff. So I'm super happy that brands really adopt this kind of type of marketing, and I'm super excited for the future. Right now, like you said, it's like really huge. I was a bit afraid that's gonna fade out, because it came up many years ago, maybe 2 years ago, I would say, around there. And I was thinking, okay, is it like just a trend is gonna fade out? But it's still there, and I think it's a really interesting way for brands to communicate, because it's not only a technical things, but it's also about the creativity of the studio. And this is like you can vehiculate a message in such different ways. It's not about like, if it's a trend, it's just about the creativity of the person. So is more like I don't see it as a trend, and I see like it's just a really nice way of communicating and surprising the viewer for the brands. And this is what's most important, to interrupt the viewers from scrolling. And with 3D animations and mixed reality is a really great way to surprise them and to bring a new creative idea that's never been seen before. And I love mixed reality project for that, and I want to keep pushing in that direction for sure.
Yeah, as an artist myself, I find it like super fun to make them, because I always wanted to do maybe movies or video games, but when I figured out how much time it takes and what kind of effort you do, and then they just cut out your scene from the movie and you don't even see yourself in the credits, and you're like, oh, that's frustrating. but now you're able to do any idea you want. Clients always listen to our opinions because we know how this thing works. We know what goes viral. And yeah, it's just a lot of fun to create these ideas, thinking, brainstorming about it. And that's what drives me the most in this particular field. That's awesome. What do you think is the next trend in 3D? Is it going to be augmented reality or what?
Yeah, I was thinking about that actually. Yeah. I feel that everything is going in that direction, and especially that in terms of tools, that not tools but more medium. When we see the Meta glasses or the Apple Vision Pro, not glasses, like more helmet, right? Is I feel that's really exciting new technology that will be ready, gonna be huge in our industry. So I really feel that the next trend will be in that direction. So it's like just a continuity of what's working really well already, which is mixed reality videos. But brands will love, I think, in the future and to get their products or having communication around their products in a different environment, and mixed reality, especially augmented reality, will be once it's ready, will be like a really nice for brands to communicate. And for us, I think we should look at this new technology that's coming up soon. And for that, I'm thinking about Unreal Engine that could maybe be really useful. So yeah, I think augmented reality will be like a big move in the near future.
Yeah, for sure. I think that social media will move forward from our phones to the real world when these glasses are going to become much smaller and you're going to use them everywhere. For example, I just imagine you're coming to the 5-star hotel or a restaurant, and then you can create a giant dragon that is crawling through the reception, and you can only see them with the glasses. That would be awesome.
I love that. I'm so excited about this world we're going to live, because you will always be surprised, and it's going to be a new dimension. You just put these glasses and there's a different world around you.
And then you can interact with it. And you can pet it, you can play with it, just like Pokemon.
Exactly. And there is Spark AR, actually. I think you guys already play with it. It's great, but it's not, in terms of quality, it's not totally convincing yet. But you can create some interesting stuff. And I think maybe Spark AR will get even bigger in the near future once Meta gonna develop their glasses, because right now it's not really popular, let's say right now, because right now it's not really popular. But once the tools will be there, especially like those medium, I think people will jump on it and create amazing visuals for brands.
For now, you have been working with many like really, really good clients. Do you remember what was the proudest moment of yours? What was the best project you did? And you're like, okay, I'm super cool.
Okay, in terms of client projects specifically, I think it was like maybe for L'Oreal. The first project I've done for L'Oreal, actually, that I just released recently on Instagram for Airlight Pro. I was super happy how it turned out, because we didn't have like a specific direction about how the product should appear, how we creatively are able to mention the idea that it's light that's hitting the air and spreading and drying your hair. So we came up with the creative ideas, which is like with volumetric lighting, and the total art direction change on this project. And I'm super proud and happy on how it turned out. And the client was so happy that they create like many type of visuals, and they present it to the CES salon in Paris. It's a tech salon. So they create a kind of tiny pop-up store to present the product, and all of the visuals were displayed there. And it was so great to see your visuals come up to life through their stand. So that, I think it was one of the projects that I'm the most proud of, and super happy how it turned out. And now we keep collaborating with them. So that's really exciting, and I love when projects going well like that. This is always our goal, and when the client is happy, we are happy. So,
yeah, it's super satisfying.
So 100%. What about you? Like, which kind of
Like the proudest moment, the plumbus for
Ah, the
$500
plumbus,
bucks. Yeah, I'm never
This
gonna go
NFT,
higher than
yeah.
that. Yeah, the NFT was perfect. I think Jacquemus is
Yeah.
and Nike, those brands that, like, for me, the only two clients that I am really expecting to come to us is Apple and Tesla. Like, we have been working with so many like big clients like Amazon. Now we're doing Hyundai and many more. And Netflix and UFC posted us. It's like crazy.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like super excited anymore when the huge client comes in. But when it's going to be Apple and Tesla, that's going to be my end goal for sure.
The box will be ticked.
Yeah. I just need to tick that. That would be awesome.
Oh, it's gonna come. I mean, you guys are doing an amazing job, so it's just a matter of time.
Yeah, 100%. Now we are in the contact with the teams, with Will Smith's team and many other influencers. That's also a part of what we are doing now. We're not only creating mixed reality, but we are also working on full CGI, naked eye, and also the influencer program, which is not really out there, but we are like primarily focusing on that as well. So maybe in the next year, we're going to have some huge collaborations with influencers, and we're going to also show to our clients that the video can go viral not just by using CGI. Like you don't have to just drop a giant bottle in the middle of New York City to get attention. You can also use some popular influencers for that.
Yeah, and merging both together will.
Yeah, have you seen Zach King's work?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. Like that's what we are aiming to collaborate with influencers and doing CGI. That's the most effective synergy when you have so much creative freedom with it.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and you guys already like collab with some influencer, right?
Yeah, I think we had a few collabs with Devon Rodriguez. It's like an international artist who lives in New York City. He like draws really well. Then we had a team up with Haley and like Haley Bailey. It's just an influencer from TikTok, and Max, and many more that we are currently discussing with. We have also a nice conversation with a girl from Bangkok. She's a big artist as well. She has like 4 million followers, and we are trying to figure out the way how we can collaborate with her, because she's not really an influencer. She's more like an artist. All of her works are shown in big galleries in Shanghai, Hong Kong, Dubai, and many other places. So we have like huge plans. Also, just like you,
that's dope. Yeah.
Become a giant, cool, creative studio. That would be awesome.
Yeah, you guys doing pretty great. I'm excited to see that how it's going to turn out in the future. Like, yeah.
Do you have any tips and tricks for the people who are willing to become a 3D artist but don't really know what to start with, what software they should use?
Yeah, sure. What I'm recommending most of the time to artists is like is trying as fast as possible, let's say, to be paid to do 3D. So to be paid to do 3D, you need to do projects that people will be interested to pay for. So that way, you have to first know what you like doing. So for example, me, I like doing some product animations. That way, once you figure out what you like doing, you try to find some other studios that inspire you. For example, for me, maybe Man vs. Machine or Builders Club. I love what they're doing. It's kind of the type of things I want to do. Okay, so I'm going to try to copy what they're doing, maybe with another product, but I'm going to create a similar animation as them. That way, I have to figure out technically how to do it. So I'm going to start learning with C4D tutorials, subscribing to some Patreons. I will follow artists on Instagram, reach out to them to ask them a few questions, how you did that. Being curious and put myself in an environment where I'm always inspired by 3D, specifically like the direction I would like to go to, and create personal projects about it with just the tutorials I found online. Don't copy the tutorial to get the final result, but just follow the tutorial and maybe tweak it a little bit to create the vision you've got in mind. And that way, you're going to have a personal project. This personal project, you're going to put it in your portfolio, and you're going to send it to different type of clients or studios. And they will, and once one of them will be interested about it, they're going to pay you to create a similar stuff. And that way, you're going to have one step in the industry, and you're going to keep doing 3D and get paid for it. Because what's complicating at the beginning is that you didn't get paid for 3D. So you're doing like part-time jobs. And that's pretty complicated to get better in the field, because you don't have time. You work at McDonald's, or I don't know, like cleaning stuff. So it's like you need to have one step in it. So by creating your personal project that's related to studios or clients that inspire you, you will automatically like get closer to your goal, which is like working full time as a 3D artist. So I would recommend you to do personal projects. That's not just, I mean, you can be creative. You can do whatever you want. Like I want to do abstract stuff. That's good. You can do that on your part time, but try as much as possible to do a personal project that people will be interested to do. Because otherwise, okay, it's good to be an artist, but if you didn't get paid for it, there's no point, because you cannot put all of the time you're willing to get better at your field. So try to find what you love doing and get paid for it by joining a studio like I did, or get clients and start as a freelancer.
What do you think is better to start out with? Is to be a freelance artist or go to a studio?
No, go to a studio.
Yeah, 100% go to a studio.
Yeah.
Because if you're gonna just start by your own, you're just gonna keep doing mistakes, and nobody's going to point you out that no, that doesn't look good. Especially when you're just starting out and you don't have any artistic vision yet. That's a super difficult thing to understand if my stuff looks good or not. You definitely need some feedback on the side.
Exactly. And also like you need to learn how to communicate with the client. And when you just start, first you need to figure out how to do the stuff, but also you need to communicate with the client. It's way too much work. And by joining a studio, you will know how the workflow is, and how to collab with people. And you will be guided by other designers. When I started in the industry in UK, as a junior, I didn't started with clients. I joined a studio, and I was asking them questions every day. I feel annoying to always asking them questions, but this is the way you improve, and you should join a studio, in my opinion. Yeah, you could do it. You could just learn online, but I feel like being in a studio, you will really feel the pressure about like meeting deadlines, and also people will advise you, and you will learn way faster being in a studio than being by yourself, not really knowing where you're going. Just taking random tutorials is good, but it's going to take time to reach out the level you're willing to have, you know.
Yeah, mostly designers are introverts. They just like to stay in their own world, in their own bedroom, working on different cool stuff that they think look good. But then it leads to the problem when you understand that not only the hard skills are important, but also the soft skills, when you can communicate with the team, communicate with the client. And that's what you all actually also can get when you're working on the studio, because you have no other choice, either how to communicate with people.
Yeah, exactly. And you cannot give up, because when you have a client project, maybe you will overwhelm and like go crazy, maybe burn out and say, okay, I'm quitting. I don't want to do 3D anymore, because it's going to happen in your career. Like especially if you are working with clients, like you need to be strong enough, knowing how the workflow is running, to be able to handle it as well. So it's like pressure is a big part of our job, and joining a studio can make you like learning it and handling it. I feel better than if you just.
Have you ever dealt with burnouts?
Not really. I felt tired, but burnout, I'd never really experienced it.
Lucky you.
Yeah,
I'm delineated with it all the time.
All the time?
Every single day, yeah.
What is really burnout? Maybe I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
When you're screaming
out
on your computer that Cinema 4D crashed just right before you pressed rendering,
sure,
and it deleted the whole project.
Put autosave, guys. Always put autosave. That's gonna save you. Save your life. For me, burnout is a big thing that you cannot really fix, and that's not allowing you to work for the next week or months, but didn't never experience that. So
Yeah, like I never experienced that I don't want to work for the entire month, but maybe just a few days to have a rest and chill and then get back to work. It's also helps all the time.
Yeah, it's not really depression. I mean, burnout, is it? Or maybe mini burnout?
A mini burnout, yeah. What can you recommend for the young artists to start with? Any books, tutorials, channels?
Yeah, I would recommend Motion Designer Community YouTube channel to learn the basic of 3D. I would recommend as well because we were talking about Houdini, but maybe I will not recommend to beginner to jump directly in that software. I would recommend them maybe to go for Blender, C4D, mainly those tools. And once you get familiar with them, you can have one toe in Houdini, but not before that. Otherwise, you will be like totally lost, and you will not want to push with that software. So I would recommend Motion Designer Community. I would recommend like also a book called like Unlimited Power from Tony Robbins. It was like one of the first book I actually like read about self-development that's is going really beyond the 3D industry, but more in terms of personal development, how to put yourself in a situation or in a type of energy that allow you to be productive, to be confident, and achieve whatever you have in mind in your life. Also, some books like Eat That Frog for time management, or if we go back to 3D, I would also like recommend for Houdini a Rebel Away course, which is like really great to learn Houdini. It's more about VFX and movie effect, but it's a really good course. I would recommend my Patreon, of course, if you want to learn more about Houdini simulations related to products. And in terms of YouTube channel, that's it. I invite you guys to just write down like Houdini tutorials, C4D tutorials on it, and you're gonna find many talented designers there. Just keep watching or consuming content online.
Do you think that Rebel Way is kind of an advanced kind of tutorials? It's like a super professional course. It's not for the beginners, right?
They've got some beginners courses, but yeah, in fact, they are more specialized in advanced VFX. So yeah, and I could also like recommend if for people who want to learn C4D, New Plastic. It's a guy that I discovered like a few months ago, which is like really talented and with a really great eye on art direction. So I could recommend also this artist.
Yeah, I saw him. I think he works in Octane.
Okay, yeah. I think so,
Cinema in Octane. Yeah, so he's super dope. Like his materials and lighting are perfect.
Yeah, it's really great to learn about.
Yeah, that's definitely something you need to look into when you're just starting out. To go to Pinterest, ArtStation, whatever. Just you need to see as much good work as possible, so you can get into the creative field and understand what looks good and what's not.
Exactly. Yeah, and one other tool that I didn't mention, but I use constantly is like PureRef. PureRef is like really important. It's like it's allow you to have on your screen references. Like you feed the tool with just some images, material references, and you use it to put it close to your IPR and customizing your materials and try to be as close as possible as the reference. And PureRef is great because it's always staying on your screen, is locked there, and you can adjust your material to be as precise as possible. So it's another little tool that I'm using a lot.
I've just remembered a really useful trick. And when, for example, you don't know how to make this look realistic, you have something, but it's still not there yet, you can just put it into MidJourney, into the describe, then generate it and see how it should look.
That's a good trick. Yeah, that's really cool. There is as well like a tool that's upscaling your render. Unfortunately, I don't have it here, but we could mention it maybe on the description, or I don't know. But there is a few AI tools that can enhance your visual, and MidJourney, it's a good trick. I could try to.
Especially now when it has so many different commands, like Cref, Sref. Have you seen those?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's so many tools. I mean, it's great, but it's still like, I mean, how come MidJourney didn't really develop a website? I mean, I think they've got one actually. They've got a website, but it's not really that UI friendly. We still need to go to Discord to generate our images. Yeah, it's a great tool, but in terms of UI or in terms of
Usability is so bad.
usability, yeah, you need to go through. There's a little learning curve. It's not that deep and huge, but it's like you need to understand how it's working.
Yeah, at least you need to add buttons instead of typing every time.
Yeah,
okay, / imagine, what the hell?
yeah. The first time I was it's interesting. You have to go on Discord. Why on Discord to generate those images? That's it's working well. So
It's just something that doesn't let old people get into that stuff.
there's still some barrier, right? Yeah.
Yeah. How to download Discord.
Yeah.
Because even for me, I'm 31 years old and I still haven't figured out how to join channels on Discord because I'm not into gaming.
Yeah. Me neither. But for us, we always working on Discord actually. Like it's pretty easy. I know you guys maybe more on Telegram. You're working with the team. Telegram is great. Discord is great as well because you can create those channels, which is pretty useful.
We've also discovered Loom. Have you seen that?
No, I don't know.
It's the program that gives you an opportunity to record your screen and do some comments.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, it's super easy.
It's good, but you can record only on your Google Chrome Windows, right?
I think so. Yeah.
I'm using OBS if I want to record my screen, but
Are there any cool projects that are coming up soon that you're excited about?
Oh yeah, I'm super excited for this Raban project. Super proud of it. It's gonna come out at the end of the year. We are sharing some L'Oreal projects as well right now on Instagram that I'm really happy with, and more L'Oreal project that's coming later this year that I'm gonna release, and we are working on it right now. It's gonna look dope. I'm so excited to share the behind the scene, the final result. Looking forward to finish this project soon and share it to the world in the next few months. So yeah, it's a pretty good project. So just keep in touch on Instagram, on GN Motion Instagram if you want to have a look at what we're doing. And those projects will be released soon this year.
What we have experienced so far is that when we release a super cool project on Instagram, the next day we're going to get 10 to 15 emails from different clients around the world just saying, hey, we want to work with you guys. How many emails do you get daily?
Daily, not that many actually, not that many yet. People contacting me on Instagram and by email, I could say mostly per month. I would say around 15 to 20 emails, but it really depends on the period. Right now, it's the holidays in Europe also. We got a few projects going on right now, but I would say between 10 to 20 monthly. What about you guys?
For now, we are experiencing just a huge growth. We don't really, we're not prepared for that, but we are still grinding and trying to get many more people on the team. And we have many freelancers on the side that can definitely help us. So for me, I found out that hiring people is the best way to improve your studio, and getting into the hiring, it's so much complex, and testing people out, having some relationship with freelancers on the side, which can always help you with some difficult project. Yeah, that's the most important thing for me. Just growing a team, it's like on a ship. When you're going through the ocean, you need to get the best working guys.
Yeah, and that's something I realized as well is don't hesitate to invest a lot on good people, because it's going to compound over time. Because if you do a project, you hire someone which is maybe cheaper but not that good, the project will not look that good at the end, and you will not be able to share it on your social because you will not be really proud of it. So you kind of wasted one project because you're not happy with the result. Instead, if you invested in maybe a better designer, which is maybe a little bit more expensive, you maybe have less margin, but the project is amazing. It looks great at the end. you put that online and it's going to bring you maybe 5 more clients. So don't hesitate, especially I feel I'm learning slightly, but to really like invest in good people to create amazing projects that's going to bring you even more clients and opportunities. So hiring talented people is challenging, like you said, to find them, but also like to be sure that they are good. And yeah, it's a balance between finding good person, investing in people, the budget from the client have is like some combination that we need to work on. And it's it's a learning curve, it's a process. But don't hesitate if you find some good people, even if they are expensive, to invest in them anyway.
Investing in cheaper designer is gonna cost you more in the end.
100%, 100%. A nightmare and yeah.
Same problem in the IT industry. You need like a super talented guy to make to solve the problem instead of just hiring 10 juniors and making them do their magic.
Yeah, exactly. That's how Panoply is working. Like Simon Omedal owned the studio. I think he is co-owner with about Panoply Studio, and they are working that way. There are just a few experts working at the studio, and they are like working really well. And instead of having maybe like a mini junior or intermediate designers, they are just like with a killer team, and that way they can, they're growing. I feel really well and working on exciting projects, and always I feel from what they're sharing at least top notch quality projects. So yeah, I feel it's like wasting more time and money to hire maybe less experienced designers, but
that is also what we are aiming for, to have a boutique studio with less designers but the most professional ones that can execute pretty much any project.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the goal.
And it gives you like a lot more creative freedom.
Yeah, because whatever you're thinking of, they could do it. And definitely, that's a really good way to seeing it as well. Your limit is imagination.
Only the biggest clients can afford you, because you are the only guys who can do that.
Yeah, exactly. But depend on where are you with your studio. But you guys, I think, can right now you are in a position where you definitely can change the perception of, more like negotiating your budget with big brands, because you guys have so much social proof and did amazing job many times when you guys bring viral so many brands that right now you've got the possibility to negotiate as a higher price for sure the different projects. So yeah, it's a matter of time for me. We are going in that way, that direction as well.
After so many years in 3D, how do you still keep passionate about what you're doing?
It's just about jumping on different type of project, but still related to 3D. You are in a little box, and you just try to go to every corner of that box, which is like 3D industry. So I'm teaching 3D animation, and after I'm gonna do like maybe some personal projects, and after I'm gonna do some commercial projects. By jumping on this kind of field, that's keep me motivated and always like passionate about our industry. So yeah, it's about finding a balance on what you're doing, and stay still in that field, and that way you can compound your effort. And even if you're doing something a bit different, it's still related to 3D, so it's gonna feed the other side of your business or personal brand, such as mine, because I'm doing not before I was like teaching 3D, doing some freelance, building my studio, so everything is feeding each other.
Dope. I have no more questions left, really.
That's perfect. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much for jumping on that podcast today. It was really a great pleasure to have a chat with you in person. Yeah, we had a few calls before, but yeah, it's awesome to see you in real life.
Yeah, me too, man. Thank you so much for inviting me. I hope it was clear enough. I hope I didn't lost you guys during this interview on a few subjects. But thank you so much for the opportunity. It was really nice, and I'm super happy to see how you guys gonna grow, and how everything can come up in the future. And maybe working together. Who knows? That would be really exciting for me, and I love you guys' vision. So really looking forward.
Likewise, bro. Yeah,
Thank
we
you.
are huge fans of your work.